Welcome back to Road to Fire. We're a family of three documenting our journey to FIRE, financial independence, retire early. Let's chat about our August mid-month budget check-in. I will share all of our numbers through the 14th and provide full transparency, so hang with me. So what budget method do we follow? We use the zero-based budget method, which has worked really well for us in the last few years. To reach our long-term goals, we need to hit our short-term goals each and every month. So the zero-based budgeting is a way of budgeting where your income minus your expenses equals zero. With a zero-based budget, all of your income is accounted for. Essentially, your expenses plus your savings equals your income. I check our budget weekly on Fridays. It's more of a skim, and then I do a deep dive twice a month when we get paid. And then I have a month closeout with my husband just to talk about where we netted out. Usually, we only review our key variable expenses, as there are minimal adjustments on all the other factors. To us, a budget is a guideline, not confining or restricting. Think of it like the speed limit. Sometimes you're over, sometimes you're under. These limits give you a preferred range to stay within. That's how we manage our budget. I also follow the 80-20 rule in life, so I'm not bugging if we don't hit our budget 100%. I do all my budgeting in Excel, which seems old school right now as everyone is using fancy apps. But I absolutely love Excel because it does all the math for me and I can customize it to exactly what I need. I also create it for budget forecasting, for future income, or analyzing how far we are from our long-term goals. In Excel, I can create all the formulas and put it in any conditional formatting to satisfy all my needs. I don't share our spreadsheets here because, to be honest, it'll be really hard to follow all of my madness. Okay, let's see how we're tracking to our plan for August. July ended a bit lopsided, so we're working a little bit harder in this month to make sure we hit all of our goals. So August is a normal pay month for us, unlike July, which had 3 pay periods. So this is a traditional income report for us for each and every month. The only downside in August is that the first check felt like it came so late for some reason. My husband and I both are on bi-weekly schedules and we get paid at the exact same time. Most of our bills happen towards the end of the month and you will see that reflected in our expense report. But you also notice that we're lacking the 6 to 7 different streams of income needed for financial independence, and this is a huge focus for us in the next several months. But let's get into the details. Most of our income is from our W-2 and it's tracking as expected. We aren't expecting any bonuses this month, so that came in as 0. But surprisingly enough, we got some Google AdSense income from our blogs. We did not expect that, and it came in about $144. Just a little bit of a side note, it took us about 3 months to get to that $100 threshold, so we do not expect to get this month over month. And for the others bucket, we took this from our sinking funds for our travel, and it came in a little bit lower than expected than what we needed, so we only had an income about $301 in comparison to the $400, which is a good thing, but it comes in as a red variance in our tracking. Overall, we spent just about half of our expected income, about $6,131, so we're tracking as expected for our income so far. Nothing to really call out here, just a very traditional view of our income, and we're happy to see that everything's on track to where we need to be. Now let's look over our expected expenses. Keep in mind, most of our bills are scheduled in the 3rd and 4th week of the month. Here's our August expense report. There are 3 key things I want to highlight. The first one is that you'll notice that our income and our expenses do not equal 0. The one thing I want to call is that I leave a little bit of a buffer every single time I budget, about $100 or $125, because things happen in our budget and we've never hit our budget 100%, so it gives me a little bit of a peace of mind. The second thing I want to call out is that in the zero-based budget method, savings is considered an expense, but it's not an actual expense. It's just a way to track the income that's coming in. And the last thing I want to highlight is that the 5 expenses here, savings, rent, car, childcare, and tithe, represent 80% of our total expenses, and so that's where I focus mostly month over month. Let's dive right into the details. For savings, we've already sent in about $1,800 to our investments and our sinking funds. As you can see, that's not half of $4,800. That's because for Vanguard, usually our transactions do not clear until Tuesday and Wednesday of the following week, but we're definitely on track to hit all of our savings goals this month. For rent, we don't get charged rent until the end of the month, so that's 0 currently. For car payments, we're basically on par here. I sent in a little bit additional money, but it basically fits within our budget because I always leave a little bit of a buffer. For childcare, my son goes 2 days a week and we do not get charged until the 25th of the month. The charges you see here is for his private swim lessons as well as a couple of things we bought for his birthday last week. My husband and I are both Christians and we believe in tithing 10% of our income. As you can see though, $500 is not 10% of our total income for this month. We always top up our tithing at the end of the year when we receive our bonuses from our companies around the Christmas and Thanksgiving time. And throughout the year, we give about $250 on a bi-weekly basis. For our travel here, we hit our travel goals. The money was taken from our sinking funds, and so we're happy to keep that additional $98 or $100 back into our sinking funds. For grocery, we're probably not going to hit our grocery this month. We're already tracking at $203. That's because we went to Trader Joe's and Whole Foods to pick up some of our staples and kind of push us over our regular threshold for groceries at this time frame. The same is going for restaurants as well. We have yet to take our road trip. That's next week, and we've already hit about the 50% mark. Our road trip will be about 6 to 7 hours one way, which require us to stop several times, especially with a toddler. So we do anticipate busting both our grocery and our restaurant bills this month. But for our business bills and expenses, we're really much on track. We have our subscription and our web hosting here, and so there's nothing unusual or crazy with our budget here. We're definitely going to be on par for this. Utilities came in as expected. This is for our Xfinity internet bill, $52, and then we're just waiting for our electricity as well as our gas bill to come in. But both of those are projected to be relatively normal to hit our $180 budgeted line here. For car insurance, we love working with Progressive for the last couple of years. Both of our cars have a total amount of $175. That's about $85 per car for insurance. So we have really good rates with them. And honestly, this is a fixed expense, so we never have any issues with this line item. For our phone, we have our phone with Sprint, but we don't get charged until the end of the month, so nothing has actually been pushed out of our accounts yet. For gas, we're right where we need to be on the halfway mark. So $82 includes our electric charging as well as our premium gas for our Audi. And as you can see, we're right where we need to be on the 50%. For all road trips, we always use our Tesla, which requires us to only pay about $25 on electric charging. So it's a really great car for long road trips. So we know we'll hit this car gas line item for this month. For household, I'm actually shocked how I wasn't able to go to Target as much this month. We are low on some of our cleaning supplies, so I think we'll probably hit that $100 limit this month. But I'll think that we'll probably be underneath overall as we haven't spent as much as I anticipated during the first 2 weeks of August. For gifts, I haven't spent anything yet for my niece, but I do plan to spend that $50 for her birthday next week. The reason that we're going on a road trip is to celebrate her birthday, so I do anticipate us dropping into a Target or Walmart to get her a couple of things with that $50. And for entertainment and apparel, we don't anticipate a lot of charges to be here. Particularly with apparel, we're not buying new clothes. We are not really going out or doing anything fancy. So the current items we have is fine. And for entertainment, it's probably just be our Netflix bill, and that's about $15 or $16 month over month. So our total actuals are coming in about $4,500, which seems relatively low, but just keep in mind that most of our bills come in the third and fourth week of the month. So our variance is pretty green overall. The only additional red here you will see is from the car payment, and I basically added that buffer in for things like this. So August is tracking to be a really good month, which is great because July ended a bit off charter. So we're excited to see how things close out for this month. Now, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, but don't forget to like and subscribe.